Welcome back to the channel. Hope all of you are doing great today. Now we are going to learn and read about the operating system. Okay, OPRATIN, operating system, BCA, for SIM, REPET, repeated, QUESTIN, question, CLLECTIN, collection. Okay, now let's see. Can you solve? Okay, yes, yeah. Define operating system. An operating system is the system that can manage other resources and provide service and application to the user. Types of operating system: batch processing operating system execute the job in the batch without the user interaction. Real-time operating system allow the user to save the system resources simultaneously distributed, manage a group of independent computer in a single system. And then the real-time operating system provide the immediate processing for real-time tasks. Okay, embedded system designed for embedded system like TOT device also. Explain the different types of operating system. Elaborate with what do you mean by the process block control PCB? What is process? A process in a program. A process is a program in execution. It has a new, ready, running, waiting, and terminated. Okay. Store process information like process ID, state, priority, register, etc. Used by the OS to manage process also. Now, different types of operating system. Advantage: real-time operating system, batch processing, embedded, time sharing. Okay, now for what do you mean by swapping? Swapping is a memory management system where the processes are moved between the main memory and secondary storage. Swapping means the process memory management system where the main memory is moved between the main memory and secondary storage to optimize the memory usage. Logical address generated by the CPU, physical address, actual location in the memory, virtual address, real address also require translation in MMU, direct use by hardware also. What is a deadlock? Write the four necessary condition for deadlock to occur with example also. Mutual exclusion: only one process can use one resources at a time. Hold and wait. The process deadlock is a condition where deadlock is a condition where process block other indefinitely while waiting for resources. Deadlock means भनेको where process block one resources while waiting for another one. Also, necessary condition: mutual exclusion. One process can use the resources at a time. Hold and wait: process hold one resources and wait another time. Also, no preemption: resources cannot forcibly taken from the process. Also, circular wait: a circular chain of the process exists where each is waiting for a resource held by the text. Also, prevention: avoid circular wait by assessing the resource ordering. Also, use preemption. Also, avoidance: use bankers algorithm to ensure the safe resource allocation. FIFO: fast in fast out. Replace the oldest page in the memory. Also, LRU: replace the page that hasn't been used for the longest time. Explain the various type of page replacement. Also, mutual exclusion: golden weight, no crimson, circular weight. Explain the FIFO also replace the oldest page in the memory. Also LRU least recently used also replace the page that hasn't been used for longest time. Optimal replacement the page that will not be used for longest time in the future and require the further knowledge also. Calculate the page fault using the FIFO, LRU and optimal replacement algorithm for a reference string 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 5 1 2 3 4 5 also FIFO example 9 fault LRU example 8 fault optimal example 6 fault also. Now explain the bankers algorithm. Bankers algorithm ensure the safe resource allocation by checking if the granting a request keep the system in safe or not using the matrix like the bankers algorithm ensure the safe resource allocation by checking if the granting a request keep a system in a safe state or not. What is paging? A paging divide the memory into the fixed block and call the page logical and frame also physical. The CPU generate the logical address that are translated into the physical address using a page table also. What are the causes of tracing and how it can be avoided? Tracing occur when excessive paging reduce the CPU efficiency due to the limited memory availability. Avoidance increase physical memory. Use working set models to allocate the sufficient frame to process also. Explain the semaphore. A semaphore is a synchronization tool used to manage the SSR to the shared resources also. Binary semaphore 0 or 1, counting semaphore integer or the value also. Limitation can lead to the deadlock or priority inversion if not managed properly also. Now discuss the disk scheduling algorithm. FCFS forces request sequentially also. SSTF select the nearest request is can move back and forth like elevator also. Seats can move in the one direction only. Wraps around also. Describe the disk management and the allocation method. Disk management include the parenting, formatting, and managing the system. Also, continuous allocation, linked allocation, indexed allocation. Also, what is buffering? Buffering temporary stored data during the I/O operation. Single buffering, double buffering, circular buffering. Describe the file mechanism to access method in the operating system. File mechanism include sequential access, read, write in order, and the direct access, random access also. 7AF, okay, virtual memory, extend the primary memory using the disk storage, okay. Distributed system, connect the multiple system to share resources. Process synchronization, ensure the correct execution order of process. Sharing resources also directory structure, organize the file hierarchical or the flatly also. Tracing excessive paging reduce the performance also. Function of OS resource management, process scheduling, security, etc. Now paging fixed size block, segmentation variable size also, sequential block, scattered block, multi-user focus also, immediate response also. Process active utility, passive utility. Now more. Now, make more and as well solve all of these. Different types of memory system are determined by swapping also. Process control, different types, batch processing operating system, kernel. Now let's see kernel also. What do you mean by swapping? What is deadlock? Optimal replacement also replace the page until not be used for the longest time in the future requires knowledge in the future requires they implemented in the practice but serve as a benchmark also calculate the page fault using FIFO LRU and optimal replacement algorithm for reference FIFO calculation load page 1 to 3 page fault 3 replace also page fault 4 SS1 page fault 5 SS2 no fault load 5 replace page fault 6 SS1 page fault 9 also LRU calculation load page 1 to 3 page fault 3 4 replace 1 page fault 4 SS1 page fault 5 also SS2 no fault load 5 replace 3 page fault 6 SS1 2 3 4 5 page fault total 8 also optimal calculation load page also 1 to 3 page fault 3 note for replace since it is not needed soon also page fault SS also page fault 5 SS2 no fault also load 5 replace three bankers is explain the bankers algorithm. The bankers algorithm is a resource allocation and deadlock avoidance algorithm test where granting a resources leave them the system in the safe state also component available vector indicating available resources max matrix indicating the maximum demand of each process also allocation matrix indicating currently allocated resources to each process need matrix matrix indexing the remaining resources need by each process also need if I max I also now. When the request comes from the process check, it can be granted also temporarily allocate resources and update matrix accordingly. Also check if the system remains in safe state by stimulating the resource allocation until all the procession can finish also. Now what is paging? A paging is the memory management scheme that eliminate the need for continuous allocation of the physical memory address transition a logical address space between into the fixed size page also the physical memory is divided into the frame size as space the ways manipulate the page table mapping the logical process and physical frame or when a program generates the logical process page number offset also the page number is used to index the page table from the cross find the corresponding page number the physical address is calculated as frame number, frame size, offset also what are cause of tracing and how it can be avoided also. Tracing occurs when a system spend more time on swapping page in and out memory executing the actual process due to the insufficient memory allocation or excessive page activity, high multi-programming level with insufficient RAM also process requiring more memory than allocated also evidence strategic use working set model also explains semaphore. Semaphore recognition primitive tool used in the control issues or shared resources. Type of semaphore binary semaphore can take the value either 0 or 1 used for mutual exclusion. Counting semaphore can take a non-negative integer value used in the managed resources. Limitation can lead to the deadlock and manage memory properly. Circular weight FCFS first come first serve also SSTF shortest seek time first. Select the request closest to the current head position, reduce the average seek time and may use extraction for distance request. Scan elevator algorithm, C scan circular scan. Describe the disk management and allocation method. Disk management involves handling disk space allocation and organization of the file on the storage device. Allocation method, continuous allocation file are stored in the continuous block on the disk, fast access but lead to the fragmentation over time. Linked allocation. Each file consists of the block of the link together, reduce the fragmentation, but many have slower access time due to the pointer transversal. Also, index allocation. An index block contain the pointer to all the block of the file, all random access. Also, what is buffering? Buffering is the temporary storage of the data during I/O operation to accommodate differentiation in the processing is spread between the producer, I/O device, and consumer. Also, single buffering use one buffer. Contagious allocation device describe the risk management and allocation method, contagious allocation, linked allocation, index allocation. What is buffering, single buffering, double buffering, then circular buffering, describe file mechanism and access method in operating system, sequential access method. Data is written sequentially from start to end, also simple but inefficient for a random access need also. Direct access method also allow the random access to any part of the file without reading through it sequentially, faster retrieval time, especially beneficial for large file and database also. Virtual memory. Virtual memory allow the execution of program larger than the physical memory by using the disk space as an extension of RAM through the paging and segmentation technique. Distributed system consists of multiple interconnected computer that share resources while appearing as a single coherent system. Enhance the readability and resource utilization. Process synchronization use the correct sequencing when multiple processes also share resources. Directory structure also organize file tracing. Paging fixed size also variable size segment simplify the memory management. Contagious allocation requires contagious free space can utilize scattered free space also. Time sharing desire for multiple user with time slices designed for immediate response also. Now process active entity also. Now process active entity, passive entity, present execution state, represent the static code also more. Okay. Now CPU scheduling and algorithm. CPU scheduling is the process by which the ready queue. Courses are executed in order they arrive non-primitive simple but they can use the Conway effect also shortest of execute the forces with the shortest burst time also non-primitive can lead starvation round robin also each process can get a fixed quantum execute primitive fairly to process also priority scheduling. File system, fat file, NTFS also new technology, EXT also EXT water system called water explain is type system called provide also explain the deadlock detention recovery technique also for process control. Deadlock detection, deadlock recovery technique explain IO management system. Then FCFS also, SSTF also, C scan explain the process state diagram, new process is being created, ready, running also, terminated, waiting also, what are the inter-process communication, IPC allow the process to communicate with each other and synchronize their action when running also, IPC mechanism. Socket also, pipe also, multi-threading, multiple thread also. Then kernel and use mode also full access to other restricted access use OS kernel run user application is pulling stimulus peripheral operation online all overlapping IO operation with computation by temporary storing data in buffer or disk space before sending it to the device printer distributed network deadlock occurring across the graph resource also red level reductant area of independent disks combining the multiple disks into the single logical unit for performance return redundancy. An example RAD for stripping, RAD 1 for mirroring, also bootstrapping the process of loading an operating system from memory during startup with a small program called the bootstrap also. Up to more, up to above also, there what are the system calls? Creation, opening, reading, writing, closing also, types of system, FAT, NFTs also. And FAT, file allocation system used in the older system but inefficient. Larger disks also, NTFS used in the Windows support the large file security feature. Extended file system, Linux used in Linux ext74 common version, Mac OS optimized for multimedia file creating, opening, reading, writing, closing, deletion also, what are system calls. FTFS also. Now more, okay, we'll learn more. Simplified program structure, easier to design program that perform multiple tasks. What are the context switch also? Context switch is a process string the state of currently running process, state that it can be resumed later also. Allow the multiple processes to share a single CPU, effectively enable multitasking by switching between processes quickly also. Essential for implementing time share in real-time system also. Overhead, context switching in occurs overhead due to saving and loading register, program counter and memory maps also, which can affect the system performance. Difference between the logical and the physical address space also, definition. generated by CPU, also actual location in RAM, physical address, nature, virtual address, real address also, mapping translated by memory management unit, MMU also, direct access by hardware also, used by the program, used by memory unit also. Now explain the concept of file descriptor. A file descriptor is an integer that uniquely identify an open file process table. It acts as index, or the file descriptor maintained by operating system also. Now example of the file opened using opened, the OS assign the file detector example 0 for instant input, 1 and is standard output also. What are the component of operating system? Kernel, the core component responsible for managing the system resources, including memory management, process scheduling, and device management. Shell, the interface through which user interact with the OS, can be command line, CLI, or graphical also. Now, file system manage how data is stored and retrieved to the storage device. Device manager is specialized software that allow OS to communicate with other device also. Now paging is the memory management scheme that eliminate the need for the continuous allocation of memory space. Paging system both deadlock detection. Now explain virtualization, visualization, file operating. Okay, now this much for today.